Well, welcome, welcome, welcome. April and I have been so excited for this class. Most of you probably already know a lot of the amazing benefits of our frankincense, right? I mean, there's testimony after testimony, so I'm sure you've experienced them, heard them, and it's like a no-brainer for you. If I could only have one oil on the planet, it would definitely be frankincense. That would be it. I mean, everybody has their favorite, everybody has their, their gateway oil or whatever. But frankincense has been so amazing for me, both emotionally and physically. And so that would definitely be my pocket oil. So before we get started, I'd like to just really, I'd like to make one thing really clear. We're talking about products that God created in nature, okay? If you've heard me teach before, you've probably heard me say many times, essential oils are not drugs. Drugs work against your body to force it to do things that it may not be inclined to do on its own, right? A lot of us, especially us moms, got into oils because we didn't want to be dependent on running to the doctor with our kids every 5 minutes. We wanted to do as much as we could for them at home to keep them healthy and strong, to be proactive and not have to even need a doctor, right? And that's kind of what this has been all about, this whole natural health journey. That being said, there are times when a drug may be necessary, just like it may be necessary to amputate your arm in an emergency. But either way, we want that as the last resort, not the first resort, because there's always going to be consequences. So if my arm needs to be amputated in an emergency, please don't bring me a bottle of lavender. That's not what I need right then. Even amputation can be a life-saving gift. But the consequence is still going to be that I end up without an arm. So I need to count that cost. It has to be worth it. I'm going to make sure that I understand what the consequence is going to be. And if you're using pharmaceutical drugs, that may mean side effects. And some of those are pretty nasty. I'm sure you've seen a few of them going around the internet in the last few days. There's some really not fun and very dangerous side effects that can happen with a lot of drugs. But essential oils, which again are not drugs, but I do believe they were spoken into existence at creation. They work with our bodies to support its effort to do what it's already designed to do, and that is to heal. Even if you don't use anything, when you cut yourself, your body gets to work healing that wound, right? All the white blood cells, all the things start to work in inflammation. There's lots and lots of things. All your body systems start to work in tandem to heal. That's how we're designed. And so that's kind of what I want to start with as we discuss some of the amazing benefits of these products. So deep spectra technology is a patent pending process that Gary and H.K. Lynn theorized and have been experimenting with since way back when I first started with the company. I'm sure it was going on. I don't know exactly how far back, but I know it's been a long time. But it's a process of taking our frank resin and instead of steam distilling it in water, it uses our own superior frankincense oil as the extraction liquid. Okay. So this allows us to not only get more constituents out of it, but it also makes it possible to access the beneficial compounds that steam distillation can't extract. These are valuable compounds that are normally left behind. So now we get it all. You get this supercharged fusion of constituents and resin compounds that isn't possible any other way. So this is super exciting. And our frankincense, again, was already the best on the planet. Literally, nobody has access to the same quality of frankincense that we do. But now we have what we're calling Frank 2. I actually like the term supercharged Frank. That's another term that's flying around. It's 5 times more potent in antioxidant power than regular frankincense. April, did you want to expound on that a bit?
Sure. I'm going to explain what deep spectra is. And deep spectra is a process. And yes, we have some products that start with the name deep spectra, but it's only describing an actual process. So that is what is unique here, is the process that they use to get the essential oil. It is not the product per se, it's the process that they get the product through. So the technology is what makes it very different. We do have a patent for it now. We're the only people that have this. It is patented. nobody else has this technology. And so no one else knows how. So we have something like really special here. So here is how Deep Spectra works. Normally we use water to pull essential oils out of plants via steam. We heat it up, the steam goes through the plant, it pulls the oil out, and then you have your essential oil as your end result. This does not include citrus oils, which are cold pressed. This is just the vast majority of essential oils. It's called hydrodistillation. But with Deep Spectra, we don't use water or steam per se. Instead, we use an essential oil in the place of water, in the place of the steam, to extract even more essential oil compounds from a plant or a resin. So by using frankincense oil instead of steam, you get more compounds. It results in like a whole lot more biological activity in the end process because the extraction gets more out of the resin or out of the plant than by doing it by hydrodistillation, which is steam alone. So something fascinating is that we get about 100 compounds in our steam distilled frankincense, but there is about 150 compounds in this new Deep Spectra extraction. And the more compounds that we get, the more beneficial our product is going to be. I do want to say, when you end up with your essential oil at the end that's been pulled out of the resin with frankincense, you have a lot more heavier compounds, and these are not meant to be diffused. Are they safe? Absolutely. Pure? Absolutely. You can put them in a diffuser. However, it is a complete waste of your money because those compounds are so heavy that they'll never leave your diffuser. They'll just hang out in there, and then you'd be wasting your oil and your money.
And
So
it might also clog up your diffuser
it
because
might,
it's not meant, that part isn't meant to be diffused.
they are meant to be taken internally or to be used topically on the skin, either one. If you use it topically, I highly recommend, if you're using the frankincense, call it frankincense squared or frankincense 2. If you do use that topically, because you used an essential oil to pull more compounds out of a resin, it's a little bit tacky. It's a little bit sticky. If you've ever dealt with frankincense resin, it is sticky. And so you can dilute it a little bit with some coconut oil, olive oil, some V6 oil, or any of the massage oils, and it will take that little bit of tackiness away. Or if you're wanting to use it on your skin, lots of people use it for wrinkles and just clear skin. They put it in something light like jojoba oil. You just don't have that resin stickiness to it anymore. I personally love it internally, but that's me. So again, this Deep Spectra supercharged frankincense is patented by Young Living, so we are the only ones that have this. You want to talk about the benefits of frankincense, Stacy?
Well, actually, I think this would probably be a good time to share that video, don't you think?
Oh, sure.
Okay, give me a second to pull that
Here,
up
okay.
correctly.
It's actually on the next slide, so it should just start playing.
Yeah, I'm having technical issues. Hold on here. There we go.
Well, if necessary, I can, oh,
No, I
actually,
just need to click the, I need to
Okay.
click the button so that I can share sound. Okay, here we go. Let me mute myself.
Chelsea, it should not be.
Distillation of aromatic plants to extract essential oils is as much an art as it is a science. For the last 30 years, Young Living has continually advanced our knowledge of both. The first distiller that Gary built was comprised of 2 pressure cookers welded together. From these humble beginnings, we've expanded to building distilleries on 4 different continents, informed by both the traditional knowledge that Gary gained at the feet of European distillation masters and the latest in scientific advancements. Our distillation experts know these plants intimately and know how to respond to the natural variations brought on by climate, weather, and geography. We are proud of what we do, and we are the best in the world at distilling essential oils for health and wellness. Now we've taken it a step further. Our latest innovation, Deep Spectra technology, is a further invention showing our continued research and learning about aromatic plants and the distillation process. Our goal has always been to get the most benefit out of the plant, growing it, harvesting it, and distilling it in a way to get the best essential oil in every drop. Our Deep Spectra inventions take this to a whole new level by the discovery of how to draw out additional plant molecules to give you more benefits than ever before. After years of experimentation, our scientist, H.K. Lin, discovered our Deep Spectra technology, which is a novel process to pull these additional beneficial components from the plant, and the result is a potent, supercharged oil. We do this by using select essential oils as the plant extraction liquid. When combined with an energy source and plant material, Deep Spectra technology pulls additional beneficial plant molecules into the essential oil extract. It's a patent-pending technology that's the first of its kind, and as such, has created a new category of plant extracts that goes beyond essential oils. Young Living is the only company in the world with this patent-pending technology that unlocks even more of nature's potential, so that you too can unlock your full potential. Become a part of the story and let Young Living's Deep Spectra innovation empower your wellness journey.
Isn't that awesome? I mean, that means we're the only ones that can use this. So this is very exclusive. And, and that's fair because Young Living knows frankincense. This was Gary Young's baby. In 2010, Gary introduced Sacred Frank. He traveled to a lot of different countries where frank trees were growing. And in fact, I think he made over 16 trips to Oman alone. But he wanted to test and analyze all the different kinds of species. So he made sure that he had the best. And he met he met with scientists and doctors all over the world who were doing a lot of frankincense research. I remember hearing stories about that way back at the time. And I was just amazed at some of the research that I don't know that I can talk about right now, but it was pretty mind blowing. And do your own research. Don't forget. So after all that hard work, Gary wound up introducing Sacred Frankincense in 2010, the same year I joined. So frankincense resins contain over 50 different non-volatile water-insoluble compounds. That means that's the stuff that gets left behind that didn't make it into the oil itself. And that's why Deep Spectra is so important. Even the frankincense all by itself is amazing. And we've all heard the stories. I had another friend message me today. She had a lumpectomy and she used our Sacred Frankincense afterward on the scar. And when she went to get checked out by the doctor, he was shocked that he couldn't even find where the incision had been. So, and we all have those kind of stories where, we used it on something and it's just so good for your skin and so many other things. So, I mean, we've been using it for a long time on things like skin tags and in our skincare products. And one of my kids had plantar warts on the bottom of her feet, and we wound up using it for that. So we've had some pretty aha moments with frankincense all by itself. So there's just so much more to it. April, do you want to add something to that?
Yeah, I think I really, when I was in my early 30s, I decided to start using frankincense on my skin, thinking I really should start taking care of my skin now before I get all the wrinkles and stuff. And I was actually getting some lines on my forehead at that time. And I started using both frankincense, just a drop a day on my forehead and and I would add it to a moisturizer as well. And like the lines on my forehead, this is 15 years ago. Like they just hardly still even barely exist because it works so well for fine lines and wrinkles. I love frankincense for that, as well as for anything emotional. It has a lot of uses. I would say it has over 1,000 uses for sure. But the Deep Spectra frankincense is, like you've said, it's very supercharged. It's got some fun nicknames around it. If you hear people calling it Frank or frankincense squared or supercharged Frank, like it's all this Deep Spectra frankincense that has these 150 compounds in it. I think it's a pretty profound product. It's made a lot of difference in a lot of people's lives. It came out a year ago, and then it came out permanently. I guess it was permanently at this convention. I don't know, but we can get it now. And oh gosh, there's people out there. Anyway, all of that to say, it's a really phenomenal product. I think it's helping a lot of people's immune systems. It's helping their skin. It's helping a lot of people with emotional health. But again, take it internally, use it topically. That is how we're using this product. So it's very special and it's very unique. So I think we've pretty well covered frankincense and the Frank squared pretty good at this point. The black seed oil is what we're going to talk about next. This is black cumin seed oil. This is not to be confused with the seed oils that people talk about being bad for us, like canola oil or, sunflower oil or soybean oil. It's not that kind of seed oil. This is actually a very good kind of seed oil with a whole bunch of health benefits. But black cumin seed oil is the main ingredient in our Deep Spectra product called Phyto Nutrition. It's like the carrier oil of the product. So it has a little bit of a carrier oil or like a fatty oil texture to it. So when you put it in your mouth or you put it in a capsule, it's just got like a thickness to it, like a fatty oil would have, because it is technically a seed oil. But Young Living just launched this product in July, so 2 months ago. It is brand new, and the main ingredient is black cumin seed oil. It also has frankincense resin oil. It's got frankincense resin powder. It has orange essential oil and cacao seed powder. And I have been looking up the benefits of all of these ingredients over the last 2 months since this launched, and I am completely blown away. Guys, just try Googling any of those ingredients, especially black seed oil or black cumin seed oil. You will be totally blown away. You'll be like, I am never not having this in my house. This will always be part of our wellness routine. But we have this supercharged frankincense in it, so I can't imagine like how much better this product is than literally any other black cumin seed oil product out there. I know there's different mixtures of things that people have put together, but nothing like this. There's nothing like this. There's a lot of really awesome benefits of our regular frankincense, but there's so many benefits to orange oil. I mean, orange oil itself is very, very high in D-limonene, which is really great when we have those abnormal cells growing in our body. It just kind of flushes those things and attacks those things and just just gets rid of that kind of stuff. Then we have cacao seed powder and then frankincense resin powder and the oil. Like all of that is a pretty supercharged product. So some of the benefits of this phytonutrition, I actually don't know how I got this name, but you just have to think of it as black seed oil, okay? Because it'll change your life. It will truly change your life. Some of the benefits of this are going to be wounds, like minor wounds. When you have something going on with your skin, like a breakage in your skin, all your body systems are going to be working together to heal that. Your circulatory system's going to jump in, your immune system's going to jump in, your sympathetic system's going to jump in, and they're all going to work together to support whatever that condition is in your skin and that wound. And so this is a product that I would absolutely use on skin. It helps with scarring. It helps with minor burns, minor skin irritations. It also supports healthy blood sugar levels. There are lots of diabetics and things I've seen posted on PubMed and NIH.gov about how black seed oil helps diabetics just help their bodies do the normal supporting it would do of blood sugar. So it's not curing diabetes, but it's just helping with their blood sugar levels, which is really awesome. It also helps with healthy blood pressure. Go look that up with black seed oil, and you're going to be blown away by that. And if you have somebody with that needs some blood pressure support, you're going to want this product.
This is all just a reminder. This is all about helping your body to do what it was already designed to do. We're not saying anything cures anything, but what we are saying is when people use this, their bodies start working.
I saw that it helped with hair loss in some cases, using it topically. I would look that up. I saw it's great for oral health. You can maybe add it to a drop to your toothpaste or something like that. I know a lot of people do different oils for oil pulling. I don't want to spit that out. So I would maybe do my oil pulling first and then drop that in my mouth and let the benefits of that hang out in my mouth for a few minutes before swallowing the phytonutrition. It's wonderful for weight management. It's like brain food. I mean, your brain will just love this stuff. Emotionally, I read a lot about black seed oil helping with anxious thoughts and anxious feelings. So, if you have like flight anxiety, or you're just somebody who's like a nervous Nelly, or you just have some anxiety that, just those thoughts and feelings sometimes, I think everybody deals with that. This is a great product. I found some great studies on black seed oil helping respiratory health because of the thymoquinone in it. Thymoquinone is a really promising compound with a lot of health benefits. I encourage you to do a little research on that. If I was dealing with any of the things I talked about above, I would be reaching for phytonutrition daily. I do take it daily based on the things that I've been reading about it on PubMed and other credible resources online. So I encourage you to do your own research. It is very powerful stuff. I have my teenager take it every day. I put it in his Ningxia Red. He doesn't even taste it. Like, he just, down the hatch. And I really want him to stay healthy during football season, because if he misses practice, he doesn't play in his game. So it's helped him stay healthy all school year so far. And I think when everyone goes back to school, everybody gets sick. Well, he has not. And I really attribute that to both Ningxia Red and the Phyto that he's taking every morning before school.
That's awesome. I'm kind of laughing at the comments. Joy Rosson says, traditionally black seed oil is said to cure everything except for death. Like, curing death would be kind of cool. I think only one person's ever done that. So, okay, this is what actually spurred on my research. I mean, I already was excited about what they were saying about phytonutrition, but I was focused on the Frank 2 and, the technology of the Deep Spectra itself. But then when I started to do the research on the black seed oil, that's when I got super excited. And what spurred me on to do that was a conversation with my dentist. And he was talking about just the benefits of thymoquinone. I never can say that word, thymoquinone. And because he said there were a few cavities that were not really cavities yet. They were just kind of, he said, you can actually remineralize your teeth and reverse that and heal that cavity. You don't actually need to have anything done yet. He's very natural minded. So he knows I don't want anything I don't have to have. And so he was talking about oil pulling, and when he mentioned the thymoquinone, I was like, oh my gosh, I immediately thought of our Phyto, and I'm like, I have something for that. And he knows the oils, he knows about thieves and everything else. So he was just super excited to hear that, and I was super excited to try it. So that's when I went home and I started researching the black seed oil, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this stuff is amazing. Why have I not heard about this? And I actually technically had heard about it, but I had never dove into it or anything. And so when I started to read it, it was like, and I'm serious, y'all need to do your research. Just Google it. Look on PubMed. There's so many sources out there, reputable sources that are talking about these benefits. I also heard about it for hair loss. And so I started thinking, you know what I could do? I could put that on my eyebrows. So I have just started doing that. So I don't have any testimonies on that yet, but I'm like, if it's good for hair loss, and I could just, rub that in there, and the frankincense is in there too. So you got skin and you got hair and everything else. I can just rub that in. So I have these little, because everybody's probably heard about our hair serum blend, right? That we make ourselves with the cedarwood and what is it? Cedarwood, rosemary, and lavender, right? Am I getting that right? I think that's right. Anyway, I thought, oh, I could do both of those. But anyway, I have these little empty mascara bottles in little glass bottles. And I'm like, I could just, rub that in at night before I go to bed. And that, so I'm going to try it. I'll let y'all know. I need to do some before and after pictures though. So right now, the way I'm using it is I'm using a dropper full 3 times a day. I actually, unlike some of the people that I'm hearing, I love the taste of it. I think it tastes amazing. It doesn't bother me at all. And so I've been doing it 3 times a day. In fact, every once in a while, I'll be like I like to use it, like April was saying, after I brush my teeth. And then after, if you're going to do some oil pulling, do it then. So sometimes I've already taken it. And so I just like, oh, I'll just have a little bit more so I can swish it around my teeth and do what my doctor was saying with the, getting it all in between there. So whether you're doing the oil pulling or not, I would say put a few drops on there after your toothbrush, because it'll, you've got bacteria in your mouth and stuff like that. So I tend to use it sublingually. So, because it can absorb really well that way. So I hold it under my tongue before I do anything else with it, before I swallow it. And I've also been adding some to my hand along with my moisturizer before I do my face routine in the morning and at night. So I want it on my skin. And I've also talked to some women about the benefits of applying it to the breast before bed, which is, frankincense. That's a great place to have the frankincense, right? And then you've got the black seed oil. Plus I had read something about helping with, tenderness during menstrual times, which, that's not me, but but it's something to think about if that's where you are. And it's good for your skin anyway. So that's something to think about. Let's see. What else do we have, April? Is there something else you wanted to say here?
Oh, sure. There is a study that I feel like I can talk about because it's on the NIH.gov site. But it is about Hashimoto's and black cumin seed oil. And it talks about the effects of that on the lymphocytes that from women with Hashimoto's. And it talks about helping regulate their immune response. And it significantly limits the Th1 and CD8 plus cells. So if you're familiar with Hashimoto's, that will make sense to you. If you're not, that's probably totally Greek. But basically that means that it suggests that black cumin can or may be helpful in mitigating those thyroid attacks that people with Hashimoto's get. And I will share the link to that study in the chat. Before we move on, I do want to say there are some contraindications that we found. Something to keep in mind is black seed oil is powerful. Like the comment said in the chat, it does a lot of things. And so I read that it could be contraindicated for a couple of things. One is antidepressant drugs, because black seed oil can increase the natural levels of serotonin in the brain. We think that's a really good thing, but when you mix that with an antidepressant that's forcing the brain to do that, I mean, it's very possible that you could be getting too much serotonin. I don't know if that makes you too happy or if there's like a side effect of that. Serotonin is one of our happy hormones. So do some research on that if you're on antidepressants and if you should be taking black seed oil or not. And then the second contraindication would be sedative medications or what is called CNS depressants. And these two things are drugs that basically slow your brain activity down. It can give you a lot of brain fog, but it also really relaxes your muscles. And black seed oil is also a relaxant. So when you're layering a sedative drug that causes sleepiness or slowed breathing, when you layer that with something that also relaxes you naturally with, anxious thoughts or feelings, or I don't think that it slows your breathing like a drug does, but I don't know what would happen, so it may interact and it may not. There may be too much slowing down going on. And again, research that for yourself, decide what is best for you. I think that's all I have on that.
Yeah. I mean, it makes me think of even like taking a hot bath, it's, sorry, that's my phone doing that. Hang on a sec. Sorry. I have it on do not disturb, but my family is immune from the do not disturb. And so it'll still come through. So the family chat is blowing up right now. Anyway, so it makes me think of when you take a hot bath, that's also relaxing. And so they tell you not to do that even when you're either drinking too much or taking drugs that would make you sleepy, because that could exacerbate that. So that makes total sense. We do have one more video before we turn off the recording and sit around the kitchen table. So, Sarah, did you want to play that next one? This kind of just wraps up everything.
Let me know if you can't hear the audio, but you should be able to. Can you hear it?
Yeah. So we're going to end the recorded portion of this call now, and we're going to get casual. So in other words, it's time to sit around the kitchen table with us, and we're going to swap our stories, and we want to hear how you're using these products, how you're being impacted. And of course, we have stories to tell too along the way. So
If you're watching this replay, please, please, please do your research on the health benefits and the properties of black seed oil and of frankincense both. I promise you will not regret the time that you spend digging into this. It is valuable information on how you can improve your health and your wellness with both of them. So with all of that, thank you for joining today's class or tonight's class. I hope you guys have a clearer understanding of the benefits of these two things. I hope you found the information valuable. We spent a lot of time digging into this for you guys. I'm blown away with what I found. I wish I could tell you all the things I found, but it's just not compliant to even say those things. So that's why we're going to turn off this recording and share some things that that have worked for us. So as always, consistency and is important with using your oils. We're here to help you guys. Thank you again for being here. We are going to have a couple more calls this month. One is Monday, September 23rd, and we're going to do a 14-day reset call. And then on the 26th, we'll do like a Mama's Wellness Cabinet call as well. So however you heard about this call is how you'll hear about the next calls. Thanks.